Okay, welcome back. So in this tutorial we are going to be doing a study on how blocking, stationary blocking by the way, spoilers, there's also going to be some parts where there's been non-stationary blocking, even though I haven't taught it yet, but I want you to see how those psychological cues are used. So we are going to be doing a study on Sintel. Sintel is a film made by the Blender Foundation. It was made by like 6 years ago, 6 years from 2016, which means it was made in 2010. So let's play the movie. I'm going to pause, so in case you haven't watched this movie, you should go and watch it, because as usual, spoilers, and it's going to be annoying because I'm going to be pausing on the good parts. And so yeah, let's go. Okay, so here we have an opening shot, even though I haven't talked about this. We'll see it in the other tutorials. Okay, so there we go. Notice how we are not that close to the character. Have you noticed? So here we don't know anything about this girl Sintel, and you're not being forced to know anything about this girl. Even though this is a short film, you see that we might go quickly close to the the character, but at the beginning we are not being forced, with a close-up. So let's go. Okay, as you can see, even in these other shots, for example in this one, maybe if perhaps we were that deep into the character, we could have gone all the way to her face, but here we are just far away. So maybe perhaps you've seen this before and never psychologically noticed it, but the whole point is, when you're starting out, you don't know much about the character, you shouldn't go too close to her face. You should be far away. When I'm saying far away, somewhere like here is a nice distance to be. Somewhere where we can see how the face till the waist. So even when the camera is like attempting to go close to the character, see how it doesn't go all the way in. It stops there. Okay, so we are having a catchy feelings for the character, and we're starting to get close to her face. Remember that part where I talked about blocking, how close you should be to the eyeline to make the conversation emotional, or let's say emotionally connecting to the audience. So here, as you can see, we are close to that eyeline. So let's continue watching. You can see that we are going closer to her. Okay, so at first we were like, oh, we could see all the way to her waist, but now we are getting a little bit closer. The director is purposely taking us closer to her face, because now we are like starting to feel for this character. Like, okay, she was fighting there, what is happening? She looks so weak, and I don't know. I have feelings for this character, that kind of feeling. So we have been psychologically being pushed.
What What brings you to the map of the gatekeepers?
Closer.
I'm searching for something. From what would appearance.
Closer. As you can see, we went in a little bit even closer.
Dangerous quest for unknown magic.
So you see, what is happening here? The director has shown us this kind of the director wants to show us an emotional story, so he's pushing us a little bit closer to the character. And if you look at the time here, we're already 2 minutes in, and usually what you want to do somewhere maybe before you get to the halfway of the film, the audience should be fully comfortable with going all the way in. When I say all the way in, the audience should be comfortable with extreme close-ups. So let's continue watching. So I'm going to skip this part. Okay, another thing that was talking about here, like look at how close we are to the eye line. So we have been brought to this place whereby we are emotionally connected to what is happening here, because we are so close to the eye line. You can see that, huh? So the director gradually made us comfortable with being close to this girl. Her name is Sintels, being psychologically close to her. So now, by using those techniques of when you should use the close-up, you shouldn't just start with the close-up and the distance to the eye line. So I want you to continue. If by the way you have watched this film, I think it will make much more sense on how you are taken through that emotional journey. That's why I wanted you to watch this before I did this breakdown. So let's continue watching.
Hey, we're almost done. Hey, sit still.
So even though we are not yet at somewhere between, but we are psychologically now comfortable with being in close-ups with this character. I hope that's the correct English. So I'm going to skip some parts.
Still?
I want you to look at this part, because there's something that's going to happen here, and I want you to see how cinematography was used to express it. Okay, you see, you're taking closer and even closer to the character. So that's what I was talking about. Now we have been taken even deeper through this character's emotion, even though we are not yet halfway. And by the way, it's not a rule that we should be fully deep. By the way, it's halfway the story. You can break it however you want. It's all about taking somebody through an emotional journey and knowing when and knowing what to do to cause some certain emotions. So here we are taken to this character's face. So that was something that was emotional, I can say. So even now, as they take us through this journey, the director is using close-ups because, you know, this is an act of emotion. She's not just running, she's running emotionally. So you can see that we're also cutting through close-ups and yeah. Okay, let's skip some parts here. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to skip some parts here because the whole point of this is not for you to understand this story, it's to understand how this stuff was used and yeah. So you see how the character, how the director is constantly using close-ups in this part of the story, because, you know, this is an act that is emotional. Okay, so I hope by now you might have already understand the use of these close-ups and the way they can be used to convey emotional, you know, taking somebody on an emotional journey. So on the next part, because I clearly want you guys to understand, I'm going to show you how these techniques are also used in 2D animation. So I'm going to skip to a 2D animation, Naruto, which is, I love Naruto, that's no doubt. So let's skip to Naruto. See you on the next part.